Hi, I'm back. So, today is Saturday, and this Saturday I want to do something different, of course. I have been on a trap sabbatical all week long. And what I did was I started out by listening to the top 100 of the hottest trap music on the market right now. And from there, I went a way step further. I reached out to a YouTube producer and signed up for a course, basically like a one-on-one Zoom session, and he helped me walk through a lot of the new patterns, like 808 patterns, hi-hat patterns, and kicks and snares and overall sound quality for trap music, and that was enlightening, to say the least. So I wouldn't consider myself to be a trap producer. I've been making music for a while, and most of my stuff is kind of genre bending, from R&B, pop, dubstep kind of realms, and it's because I really like those types of music genres. And over the years, I've just taken a lot of what I hear and incorporated into what I do musically, which is okay. It's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't make you popular. And it's not that I'm trying to be popular, but I want my music to be more in line with the masses. So what I decided to do was just kind of change course and really start digging deeper into trap music and incorporating it more into my music. So as I've gone along, I found that my music is becoming a little bit more, from a melody perspective, atonal, which is a little strange, to be able to hear music in noise. But a lot of people on the planet like atonal stuff, some more than others. I'm not saying that I'm giving up my personal style to completely delve into trap, but I wanted to be able to incorporate more of trap into what I'm doing so that it is more palatable for people. So with that said, I spent a whole week just immersed in trap music, and wow, I got a lot of work to do. I've always been okay with learning new styles, but what I thought I knew about this style of music, I was wrong on so many levels. After spending a few hours on a few days listening to just the top 100, I know for sure that I need to work on my 808 patterning, my trap hi-hats that I thought were trap hi-hats, no, and snares, and the way that I hear in my mixes have changed. I didn't really realize that the kicks need to kind of blend better with the 808s. That's something that I haven't really been paying attention to, but when I go back and listen now to what I was doing, I apparently had some inkling that it needed to kind of follow some pattern to be in alignment with the rest of the song, but not really. But I have always had the ability to change, and it's inherent in my personality. I am also very open to criticism. Sometimes it can be harsh, but also criticism can help you change the direction and path that you're going and be more focused to go down a different path. And that's kind of the way I feel right now, is that the path I was going down, while it is beneficial to me to be an individual from what's happening in the rest of the music community, it makes you very isolated because you're doing music for one. Basically serving yourself a recipe for only for you. So I've decided to kind of just change course again, to try to make things a little bit more palatable for people. And I'm still thinking about Eurorack, and it's because of that atonal value that it serves for me from a sound perspective. I may still incorporate a lot of the pieces into what I'm doing, but I'm going to focus harder on my 808 patterning, my drum skills, the hi-hat skills, and I'm also going to try to do that on hardware too. So I got a whole lot of work to do. So I hope you guys enjoy this journey that I'm going to be on here for a few weeks. It's going to be funny. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be pissed off sometimes because I can't hear something that I'm trying to do. But it's all in good fun, right? It's going to be my own personal journey to be able to get to where I'm trying to get to. So today I'm just going to start by trying to incorporate what I've been doing in Ableton all week into hardware. So that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, so I'm going to start by maybe experimenting with melody. But before I start with the melody stuff, I wanted to kind of take a little bit of time and talk about some of the hardware pieces. I know I had questions from a few viewers about my experience and what I think about the Iridium. I've had it for maybe 3 weeks now, maybe 4. So I had not planned on getting this thing, and I'd looked at it before, but the price was always just outrageous to me. When it first came out, it was almost $3,000. Actually, it is $3,000 if I'm not mistaken. But I got really lucky and found a used one online through Musician's Friend. Now I'm gonna have to add some B-roll to this. When I got it from Musician's Friend, it was listed as scratch and dent, and mind you, it does have a couple surface scratches on it, very minor surface stuff. The damage came from the shipping. When I got it, it had been not packaged correctly by Musician's Friend, and this side of the unit is damaged, like on the corner, like it'd been dropped, and this side has some scuff wear on it. Also the screen, I'm finding I need to take it apart and re-tape the underside of it to the casing, because it's come loose in the shipping, but doesn't affect the overall functionality of the device. It just pisses you off when you pay so much for something and when you get it and the condition it was supposed to be in, it's not in. So I ended up calling them and working out an additional discount after sending them pictures of how I received it. I mean, basically the box that it was in had a big hole up like this size, and the power cable, I'm surprised they even got it because it was hanging out of the corner of the box. So when you see scratch and dent stuff, if it's not coming from Sweetwater, I'm just going to be totally honest with you, there's no telling what you're going to get. I've had some really weird experiences lately with some of the online music sellers. Z Sounds is another one. I originally purchased a Universal Audio Twin X through them, but I ended up having to return it as well. It was described as scratch and dent, but the price that they were charging for it was like there was really nothing wrong with it. But when I got it, it had a huge, like, damaged scar on the front of the face, and the unit had something physically wrong with it, like from an operational perspective. So I've never had that experience with Sweetwater. When I buy used gear from them, they are very meticulous about what they do with the return stuff. They go through and do a solid real check on stuff before they repackage and resell it. So I trust stuff that I get from Sweetwater. Like this unit right here, the 1010 Music Blue Box. This is a used item that I got from Sweetwater. And of course, when I got it, when you buy used stuff, you want to make sure that there's nothing internally wrong with it. So you have to work through the paces with it, checking all of the ports and the power to make sure there's nothing wrong. And this is a solid unit. It wasn't even, there's no scratches on it like from use. So I've had nothing but really solid experiences from Sweetwater from a used gear perspective. Actually, a lot of the stuff that I have that I've gotten that's been used has come from Sweetwater, and I just trust Sweetwater because they really try to honestly take care of you. You have your own sales specialist assigned to you. That person is always calling, trying to see what your needs are and see if there's something that they can help you with. And they're always easy to like reach out to. I'm not being sponsored by Sweetwater. I'm just giving you my honest opinion of my experiences with some of these online sellers. And to date, I have to be totally honest with you, Sweetwater seems like they're the only music sellers that really care about the customer from a customer perspective. Because the experience I had with this Iridium, I wanted to return it. I really honestly did, and I probably should have. But because of the price that I got it at, it was fate to get it. I reached out to Waldorf to see about replacing the casing, and they directed me to Korg. And I didn't realize Korg is one of their resellers here in the United States. So maybe eventually I'll contact Korg and get a case replacement, but the wear that that's on it doesn't affect the performance of the device. And now from a sound perspective, this thing is a beast. If I was gonna if I had the money to spend, and that's if you have the money to spend on one of these things, you won't be dissatisfied with it. I mean, it's from a sound design perspective, an absolute. I can't even put words to how awesome this thing is. The breadth of the amount of things that you can change, the 3 oscillators, the dual filters, the envelope section. Also, what I found is that it incorporates a lot of their software technology that they've been using from their soft synths, and even so much so I'm trying to remember the name of the synth. Even so much so that you could take the files from that synth and use them as layers inside of inside of the Iridium, which is really cool. And it also is available in iOS format. So if I wanted to, I could create a lot of the sounds on my iPad and then dump that data over into the Iridium and continue to work on the sounds by adding more of the Iridium's control section to it. So it's very, very, very cool in that perspective. It's just, um, I'm trying to think of anything else I can think of that, from a sound perspective, that would move me away from it. Now, what I am kind of surprised about with this is uh, they included on the back of the device the USB MIDI input, which is actually standard. So I was able to hook this up directly to the Akai Force, and the Akai Force can see it, and it's named as an instrument, which is very, I guess, kind of unique, because some of the other gear in my lab that has USB, like for instance my Behringer DeepMind 12, I can't do that because it doesn't use standard MIDI. The only way that I've been able to incorporate that into my setup is by using 5-pin DIN MIDI and using it with the Mio XM. I do have the USB port on that hooked up, just so that I can use the software editor. But I ended up having to purchase both the in and output 5-pin DIN MIDI cables to get better signal flow back and forth. So, and I also ended up doing that too with my TI virus. I know that I talk about that virus a lot because I've been trying to incorporate it back into my setup for a while, but because the control center is no longer supported, I had to break down and go 5-pin DIN MIDI with it. And in doing so, I didn't necessarily lose the ability to use the editor, because Mystery Island makes an editor for it now, and it does work. And it worked with a one input MIDI, but I ended up having to get a second MIDI cable for in and out because the signal flow was not fast enough to be able to use the editor with just one cable. So, okay, let's see what we can make today. See, I need a MIDI track and I need an audio track. And I feel a little weird today because I have not been on the standalone in a week. And that is really weird to me. So let's see. We will probably mess around with the Iridium first. Let's see.
Hours later.
Okay, so I know I goofed up. Over to Ableton. Okay, now we are in Ableton, and we will be finishing up the song in here. So I've already pulled the session in, and I'm just going to take a quick listen to it. Let me make sure that this is working. See. Okay, let me just throw a snare in there so I'll have like some rhythm happening. I just don't want the other drums in there because I'm gonna change the pattern up. So let me find a snare. And we're just going to throw a quick little snare in there. Let's see where I want to be at for. Turn that up. It might be too high. Yep, too high. Let's come down. Take that out for a second. Let me see if I can find another melody that'll fit too. Okay, drip actually does work. 2 clicks and yeah, it's high. It is. All right, so I'm gonna play the song for you at the end, and that's what I got. I'll see you on the next one.
Master